am Mei Chen and this is my identity. I know you look at me and think, wow, okay, she looks ethnically Chinese. Well, I am, but I am also a New Zealand citizen, and even though I was not born here in this country, I identify as a Kiwi.
So I've had a bit of a mixed upbringing. I didn't grow up in a big Pacific Island community in New Zealand though, because I grew up out in the regions in a little town called Waitara in Taranaki. That's really a big part of my identity.
When we first arrived in London when I was 10 in the middle of winter, my PE teacher at my new school asked me to put my feet up on a chair so the whole class could come and look at my feet, and used me as an example of what happens when children don't wear shoes. So I felt like a strange New Zealander. And then after 20 years in London, I came home to New Zealand, and I have to tell you, then I felt a stranger in a strange land in New Zealand.
I'm a Wellingtonian by birth and by choice, but I also lived in London for 12 years, and the friendships that I made with people all over the world definitely helped to shape my identity. I was raised by a solo mum here in Wellington, whose family came to New Zealand in the middle of the 19th century. One of my great-great-grandmothers had an upright piano brought over from London, wrapped in mattresses and then dragged by bullocks up the Gisborne-Naporiki Gorge. You could almost make a movie out of it.
Ko waia au, uri tēnei no wai merirangi. Ko tawhitirahi te maunga ko awa whaka te awa. Ko te reo mihi me pōtahi oku marae. Ko te ao pauri, ko te rarawa, ko Ngāti Kuri, ko ngā puinu tonu oku iwi, ko Hinemoa Elder Tuku Ingoa. Kia ora. My name is Hinemoa, and I've just introduced myself to you in a traditional, rather formal way, which locates my identity according to my history, my ancestors, and the landmarks of the whenua, the moana, of my area of the country, which is the whānau, te hiku o te ika.
Came to New Zealand when I was 12. My parents came from Samoa and our whole family came from Samoa, so my parents could be ministers at the Samoan Congregational Christian Church in Newtown, Wellington, where I have pretty much lived for most of my life. Truth is, I never thought that I was going to be an actor or a comedian, because at school, you know, first 15 boys, no, we don't do drama. No, we create drama.
I'm a newer New Zealander. I was born in Minnesota, grew up in Los Angeles, lived in France for a few years before moving to New Zealand to finish my master's in urban planning. I'm an advocate for the environment and for healthy, happy communities. I love using a bike to get around, practicing yoga. I'm a fan of good healthcare. I'm a full-time feminist.
But family to me is quite important. We were raised in a state house. Mum and dad had a middle-class upbringing. I was first in my family to go to university. I had a lot of aunts as well, so the women in my family were very strong and taught me that to have a voice in life you need to speak up.
I've been fortunate to spend a large part of my career overseas. I've lived in Delhi, I've lived in Singapore, in Sydney and New York, and now I'm back in New Zealand running NIB, a company that really values diversity, something I really appreciate because I've had an international perspective myself.
What's my identity? I'm an environmental engineer, I'm a businesswoman, I'm an educator, and a technologist. I'm also mom to 2 young boys. I was born and raised in India, but I've lived in the United States and now in New Zealand. And I worked with collaborators all across the world. So my perspective is global.
It's important that we accept that people aren't necessarily what they seem. We just need to accept that diversity means accepting difference. Thank you.